Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another tactical video, another formation, another tactics, another instruction, custom tactics, whatever you want to call it. Now in this video I'll show you the tactics that took me to the elite division, which is the highest division you can get to in FIFA 22, and I'll show you exactly how I line up and how I use the formation and tactics, how I play in game, to kind of give you an idea of how to use the patterns and whatnot. So to start things off, let me show you the tactics themselves. So it's a 4-1-2 narrow. Defensive style is unbalanced. I've tried heavy touch, possession loss, constant pressure, drop back. I've tried it all. Balance for me is still the best. It's the most consistent. Pressure on heavy touch can leave you with can leave you exposed, so many gaps. You don't want that, right? You want balanced. Width, I'll tell you exactly why I play in 30 width. It's very important. It does relate to the instructions, so for that, just wait a second. But the whole idea is to basically stay compact, stay narrow, not wanting to have a lot of gaps in the middle for through balls and whatnot. And depth is on 70. One thing you'll find in all of my custom tactics, 70 depth, or usually I have a bit more sometimes. High depth for me is so important. You might find people play on lower, but for me, high depth keeps you on the front foot. If you like to press, if you like to win the ball back quickly, high depth is very important. Build up play and chance creation, balance as well. I've tried forward runs, I've tried long ball, I've tried these sort of different settings, but for me, balance is still the best. It leaves you with more options to change up your play and not be too predictable. So if your players are always getting in behind, it does get predictable. But if you switch it up, if you manually trigger your runs with L1, you're in control of your team more. So balance for me is just a bit better. So width is on 40. We do play narrow. It is a narrow formation, so it makes more sense to be a little bit narrower to get players closer together and use that narrow advantage, which is having more players in the middle and dominating the possession in the middle of the pitch, because that's the whole idea of this. And players in the box, I have it on 6. Again, it's not really like that different from having it on 5, but 6 usually I feel like makes your plays run a little bit quicker inside the box when you need them to. Corners and free kicks, just have them on 3, basically default. Now the instructions. So I have nothing on the strikers, right? The cam, I do have the cam on stay forward, because in narrow formations, 4-3-1-2 and 4-1-2, if you don't tell them the cam to stay forward, they usually just drop back to the left center mid spot. I don't know why that happens in game, but it does happen in game, and you don't really want that. You want them to be able to stay forward and connect the midfield to the attack. You want them to be in that number 10 spot and use the triangle advantage with the 2 strikers that you have. So stay forward on the cam. Now for the midfielders, the 3 midfielders. Now let me go to the DM first. Now this links back to the 30 width thing. So the DM, I have the DM on drop between defenders and cover center. Now in other formations and other tactics and whatnot, if you tell your midfielder to drop between defenders, what would happen is they usually just become like your formation turns into a 3-back, right? And you can tell your fullbacks to push forward or whatnot. But in this, that doesn't really happen. What happens is your DM just stays back, which is exactly what you want. I've tried stay back before, but they don't actually stay back, and that's always like frustrated me so much. But then I realized, like, why don't I tell them to drop between defenders and basically have them just be there no matter what? So sometimes you'll see your defenders, like your 2 center backs, kind of push a little bit wider and your DM dropping, so it does turn into a 3-back, and then you have your fullbacks and you have 5 at the back when you're defending, which is, in my opinion, it's absolutely fine. And if you tell your tactics, if you have your width on 30, you'll be very, very like hard to break down. And this is where I feel like it's very important to have players for this tactic. Your right center mid needs to be the more sort of defensive midfielder, like your box to box. So I've got Wijnaldum in there. I've also got him to stay back. I got him to stay on the edge of the box, and I got him on cover center. So his role is to help the DM in, you know, defending, and that's the idea, because the left center mid is the more attacking player. I've got Gomez in there. He's not a midfielder. He's basically just a, you know, a forward, and I have him on cover center, and he's basically, his role is to, you know, roam in that final third and help out the attackers and provide width. That's the thing that he does, because this is so, we're playing so narrow. We need someone to sort of overlap with the strikers or whatnot, and that's exactly what he does. He's got so much space, so you need the player in there that's quick, you know, good on the ball. If you have a winger, they can probably play there. That's the whole like idea, and they do help out defensively sometimes if you drag them back. So that's it for the midfielders. And for the fullbacks, you just tell them to stay back. Same with the centre backs. No step up this time, because this formation is already very aggressive. You know, you're not playing with 2 DMs, you're playing with 1. So you're already very aggressive. You have 2 strikers. You don't need to be, you know, telling your defenders to step up or whatnot. And yeah, that's it for the instructions. And basically, if I was to give you any extra tips on this, try to be a little bit patient in the attack. You can play this 2 ways. You can be very direct and do 1-2s with your 2 strikers and the cam and over the tops, or you can you know, be patient in the final third, and you will get space because you have 2 strikers backing on the centre backs. So it's up to you, really. It gives you a lot of options. That's why I'm really liking it at the moment, and I'll continue to use it in the Elite Division and Weekend League as I continue upgrading my team. But, you know, for a road to glory to get to the Elite Division this early, it's a great achievement, and I hope you guys find similar success with your tactics and your teams. But for now, I hope you enjoy this. Leave a like, subscribe, make sure you come to the Twitch streams. Link will be in the description. Follow the Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of that. Everything will be in the description. But yeah, once again, thank you again. I'll see you next time. Peace.